So,
No, no,
that's
especially
that.
public universities. No apologies to them, please. But yeah, I mean, it's good. Hi, everyone. I'm excited about today's video. We're talking about doing the first degree in the UK for someone who was initially doing their first degree in Nigeria. So I have with me my niece who will be talking about that very briefly. If you have not, please make sure you subscribe to our channel where we share a lot of videos, a lot of tips, contents that help people to settle in the UK, either as a student, as a family, young family, and over the lifetime living in the UK. All right, so you're welcome to today's video.
Thank you.
But just as an introduction, just tell us about you.
Okay, I am Jemima Oyedepo, and as he said, I am currently studying in the UK in Swansea University. I am in my second year and I'm studying economics and business.
Okay, so the crux of the matter here is that you were doing your first degree in Nigeria,
Yes.
and one of the private universities, to be precise. We wouldn't mention the name now, but now you're doing your first degree in the UK.
Yes.
How easy was it for you to transition from Nigeria to here?
From the Nigerian aspect, it was a bit tough, but I think once we were done with passports and everything that related to Nigeria, I think everything went well. My admission process was good. It was not too hard. There were like some problems here and there, but generally it was okay.
So it's basically just to find, if you want to get a detail, we can do that video in later on. Just drop in the comment box, let's see some excitement about it, and we'll do that video. But basically, what you just needed to do after deciding the university, you got the admission,
Yes.
and then you got transcript from the school
Yes.
that you were in Nigeria, and then you applied that
So-
in here, and they were able to take you on. Okay, good. Now, you were studying economics in Nigeria, and then you're doing
Yes.
economics here,
Yes.
which is almost comparable. So now let's get into it. How would you compare the experience studying first degree in Nigeria, in a private university in Nigeria for that matter, and now in Swansea University, which is one of the top universities in the UK and the world as well? How do you compare it? Let's take it from different angles. Talk about the quality of the education.
Quality of the education. Me personally, I prefer the way they teach here, because here I think they really look at they really care about the individuals that they're teaching, and they try to make it as easy as possible. They try to make the process as easy as possible for each student, and if you have any special need, they try to like fit in every
Make
single
available
yes.
the necessary resources that the person would require
Would
to
need
be
to
able to
do-
do their study.
Yes, and they put that into exam. They try to make sure you're as included as possible and you're as comfortable as possible. And for me, since I was an international student, they first put me together with other international students so that we could get used to the environment before like my second year, before we mix with everybody. And I think that was a really good decision for them, because it helped us, and I'm pretty sure in our second year it will help us more, because at least we'll know that we have each other before
Yeah.
we spread out to different friend groups.
Okay.
And I think with my own classes, they have this rule of after every 45 minutes you take I think a 10 minutes break.
10 minutes break after 45 minutes. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Okay.
You have a 10 minutes break, and this is because they said that according to research, for students, after we have an attention span of 45 minutes, so
Right.
after that we tend to, will I say, feel mentally stressed a little or get distracted.
Nigerian universities don't care about that. After 45 minutes, you get 10 minutes break.
Yes,
Okay,
and
that's
then
good.
you go back into class and then continue. And the way my classes are, for each class there's a corresponding seminar class, where that class is just for if you have any question, and also for the teacher to ask questions to the class, and then you discuss. I really like that class a lot, because it helps you really understand what was taught in the previous class. I also realized that the teachers are always very, very willing to help you, Like immediately after every class, before and after every class, they're always saying, if you need any help, come over to my office. These are my office hours. Like they're always encouraging you to come and meet them, to come and help
Ask
them.
questions.
And it's like it's really encourages us as students, because some of us might not be confident enough to ask questions in class, and knowing that a teacher is always willing to accept you in if you have any question is very good. Even when you have assignments, if there's anything you don't understand, they are willing to not give you the answers, but they are willing to go over the instructions.
And talk about assignments. So how do you compare doing assignments in Swansea University and
it is very different. First of all, they take the assignments very serious. That's one. And two, most of the time you hardly even get assignments like answer this question, answer that question. Most of the assignments are in courseworks, essays, reports, and all those type of things. And in the UK, generally, they take plagiarism very, very important. It is a real crime. It's a serious crime. So anytime you're writing any report or you have any coursework, you have to ensure you cite, you reference well. I was forced to learn that, and before I came though, my dad actually kept on announcing me that I would have to learn citation and referencing, but I did not understand. Most of your assignments will be or at least I'm sure for social sciences, I think for engineering and the medical line, it might be different, but for social sciences and arts related courses, you're going to be writing a lot of reports, a lot of essays. And I think it's pretty good. At least I can say I am better in writing now than when I came.
Than when you started.
Yes.
Right. And what about like social life as well? How do you compare that to Nigeria?
Well, I was in a private university, so if I'm being sincere, I think it's easier to be social in that environment, in a private university, or at least in my previous school than here.
Nigeria,
Because I feel like here everybody is on their own.
True.
You're truly on your own. So except you are really intentional about making friends, it's very easy to be alone. Very, very easy.
Yeah. And then in top tips, we'll talk about how to get around that.
Yes.
Okay. So what about the living expenses, or just general living as a student? Do you live on the campus as well, or do you live outside the campus?
Okay, for my first year, I lived on campus. But my next year, I'm going to my own house.
Right. So living on campus, that can be compared to when you were in private university in Nigeria. So how do you then compare? What do you say about that?
Okay, I think expense wise, I feel like it's almost the same thing. It's almost, I mean here, because of exchange rates and everything, if you compare anything compared to Nigeria, it would definitely be more expensive. But looking at UK prices, or looking at if you're spending in pounds and you're earning in pounds, I think is pretty reasonable. And the accommodation was very beautiful for me. I had everything. There was the microwave, the kitchen. I stayed in an ensuite bedroom, but then I shared a common room and kitchen with my flatmates. And my flatmates were okay, and it was generally clean. There were people that came to clean like once in a while, every week. And I think it was big. That's one thing I liked. Staying on campus, if I'm being honest, especially as a first year student, is very good.
But then you were able to cook, unlike in private university in Nigeria where you're not allowed to cook.
Yes, because in my previous school, you were not. It's literally like you're banned from cooking. You're not allowed to bring any cooking.
And it was one of those private universities where you also don't use mobile phones, right?
Yes.
We wouldn't mention the name, but those who know, you know.
you know. But yes, but here definitely you're allowed to cook. And they used electric cookers, but then there were regulations on things you should not do, obviously, to
Okay.
avoid accidents. But I think it's really good that they allow us to cook, because if I'm being very honest, before I came here, my cooking skills were shaky. They were very shaky, but now I know I am better. I'm more confident in cooking,
Yeah.
and it allows me to be as creative
As possible.
possible.
Yeah, so you can basically say that the independent living has improved when you're studying in the UK compared to when you were in private university in Nigeria.
In the UK, there's no barrier on when you can exit school and when you cannot. But in my previous school, you're not allowed to leave school until the semester is over. And I think here, this helped me because when I first came, I was so scared to go anywhere on my own. I needed to go to the bank, I needed to go to the African market, I needed to go to stores, and I was so scared because it's something I was not so used to. But with time, I mean, I have to survive. So I did everything on my own, and now I am independent.
So it's also worth mentioning about the length of the course, where you're doing economics, but then in Nigeria it's 4 years course, but here it's 3 years course with 1 year of internship if you want to. So okay, let's talk about the student support. What's available? What kind of support is available for students?
Okay, just like how I mentioned previously of how they try to fit in different individuals with different disabilities or special needs, that's the same way like it is generally. When I first came in my welcome week, the long list of like different things that were available to different students really shocked me, because they considered us as international students. They understood that most of us would probably still have our parents in Nigeria and we might be alone. So there was the listening service, there was even the advising service. If you just feel like talking, you don't even want anybody to comment on what you have to say. They would literally just listen to you and make you know that they are there for you and support you however you want. And if you also need advice too, that was there. And every student has their own personal tutor.
Right.
And that person is mainly there to help you with whatever. You can check for the person's office hours and just gist with the person. Right. It doesn't even always have to be like academic related. Just talk to the person. They always know that they are there. And just like people that have like different special needs, you can tell them. They would help you set you in your classes. They will help you set exam classes, your exam conditions. They have like I can't remember everything because I didn't use everything, but I know that they had a long list and it's really good.
Okay. Good. So, and was there anything about buying textbooks, buying course materials like you'll find in mostly public universities in Nigeria anyways?
Not at all. Everything was online. If you use your tab to read, I promise you, I don't think you will need a book for anything. Because they even send like they record their classes and then you can rewatch your class again, and all your course materials are online. You can get them. Yes.
So the class is recorded?
Yes, the class is recorded.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So that is basically some comparison between private university, studying in private university in Nigeria for first degree, and then studying in the university in the UK for first degree. I hope you found some of those things very helpful for those who are considering making a choice whether to change their children or they themselves are trying to move from Nigeria to the UK. So look out for the next video where we'll be talking about some top tips, how she's been able to help herself, because it's not very easy, just moving all the way from Nigeria to the UK for the first time, living on your own, studying, listening and hearing what they're saying in class sometimes can be a huge challenge. So we'll get onto how to deal with those things. Please make sure you have subscribed to our channel, you're liking our videos, and let's see in the comment box what you're thinking about our videos. Any questions as well, we'll see how we can answer them. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.